Thank you for tuning in to my weekly video devotion for the week of October 27th. Now, as many of you may have heard, Diane and I were exposed outside of church to someone who the next day was tested positive for the coronavirus. So Diane and I are currently quarantining from home. Both of us are feeling fine at this point. Please pray for the person who has COVID and their family. Our reading today is from 2 Corinthians 4:16 to 5:7. All right, so we do not lose heart, even though our outer nature is wasting away, our inner nature is being renewed day by day. For the slight momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all measure, because we look not at what can be seen, but at what cannot be seen. For what can be seen is temporary, but what cannot be seen is eternal. For we know that the earthly tent we live in is destroyed. We have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this tent we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling. Indeed, when we have taken it off, we will not be found naked. For while we are still in this tent, we groan under our burden, because we wish not to be unclothed, but to be further clothed, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. He who has prepared us for this very thing is God, who has given us the Spirit as a guarantee. So we are always confident, even though we know that while we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight. The word of the Lord. I love this reading because it really helps me put things in perspective, so we do not lose heart. I had so many things planned for the next couple of weeks, including presiding at Marilyn Sheehan's funeral this coming Sunday. And then we had things we wanted to do as a family. We were planning to go down to Indianola. My niece is opening her own dog grooming business, and their open house this Saturday. We wanted to go down there and also visit Diane's mom while we were in Indianola. But that's not going to happen now. And now we're working from home, and we're so glad to have the technology available to us that allows us. So Diane and I are in this time of waiting and wondering whether or not we will come down with the virus. If we do contract it, I don't believe it would be fatal to either one of us, but I did spend some time earlier this morning thinking about what it would mean to die. I certainly don't want to die. I really don't want to suffer. I believe God still has work that He wants me to do and things that He wants me to see. I want to live for my family. Especially since November 1st is All Saints Sunday, I thought about what it would be like to die, to see some of my family and friends again. My dad wasn't a very faithful Christian. He was baptized and he did join the church, but I almost really forced him to do so. So is he in heaven? I hope he is. For now, we walk by faith and not by sight. What would it be like to see my mother again and my grandmothers, one of which I've never met? What would it be like to see my grandfathers, again, who I never met? They died before I was born. I'm sure it would be wonderful. What would it be like to meet Jesus face to face? Wouldn't that be wonderful? And a bit scary, I bet, as well. How wonderful to ask him the questions I've always wanted to ask. So I'm fine with waiting for another couple of decades to find out the answers. I want to be here for Diane. I want to spend more time with my children and my grandchildren. I want to be here for our church to get through this pandemic. I want to be here to be able to see the West Fork Food Pantry in a permanent location. Yet Paul gives us this wonderful image. For while we are still under his tent, we groan under our burden, because we wish not to be unclothed, but to be further clothed, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by what? Life. We're living a mortal life right now. There are parts of this life that are wonderful and parts that aren't so wonderful. One day all this will be swallowed up in a life that's far superior. And that is life with Christ, life without pain, suffering, and sin. So we have this hope. We have this hope even in the midst of the uncertainty that we are all living with these days. I pray that you and your family stay well, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Thanks for tuning in.